InkSpired To InkSpire.
Alright, it's your host Ink Surgeon, and it's another episode of InkSpired to InkSpire. And today we are here with Baltimore tattoo artist. She's unique.
Yep,
How you doing today, man?
pretty good.
Okay, so today we're gonna get to know you, and we're gonna take it straight from the beginning,
Okay.
basically. So, where were you born?
I was born right here in Baltimore City,
But this is Tulsa.
but this is Towson.
Okay,
but I
so
was born in Baltimore
Baltimore,
City.
yeah.
And you saying
What
it wrong?
is-
It's Baltimore.
Okay, Baltimore.
Baltimore, right?
Baltimore. Okay.
Yeah.
What was growing up like in Baltimore? What was the family dynamic?
It's nothing like The Wire, even though people think that. Was raised by a single mother, and my dad is actually a tattoo artist. So, yeah, that's kind of how I got started tattooing. My dad was teaching me like from a very young age. I think I was about 15 when I started. Yep.
So your mom and your dad were separated, and you spent time living with your mother mostly.
Yes.
Okay, and then you say your dad was a tattoo artist. Where? Here?
Yep. Here in Baltimore, he actually, him and his friend actually started one of the first black-owned tattoo shops in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay, that's
Yep.
dope. That's dope. Okay, growing up, like schooling, what was like the schooling situation like for you growing up?
Public school, basically. That's what it was. Went to
Public
public
school.
school. Yeah.
Were you more like introvert, extrovert, well known?
Um, Maybe a little bit of both. I'm kind of like a nerd, but like people fuck with me.
Okay. Yeah, so you did mention that you got into tattooing by your dad teaching you from a tender age. Because I
Yes.
was going to ask, like, where did the love for tattooing or art developed? Like, was it like from an earlier age, from high school? Where?
I've always been interested in art. Like when I was a kid, I used to draw all the time. I used to get like little art awards in school. And basically, I just would sit in a tattoo shop. Like my dad, he did tattoos, he did airbrushing. So whenever he would do his stuff, I would just be there with him. And I just, I don't know, I just had an interest in it from like for a very long time.
Okay. So back when your dad used to tattoo and stuff like that, like what was like one significant moment that you saw or the situation that made you think like, oh, my dad is doing this to this certain extent, so this is what I want.
I don't I don't want him to like take this the wrong way. It wasn't anything that he did because at first I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't even want to do tattoos. I was just like, man, this shit's lame. My dad does this, blah blah blah. But it was like, I think when I want to say I was like 14 before I started doing tattoos. I actually like went to live with my dad for the summer, and I saw Kat Von D on TV. What was her show? L.A. Ink. And that was the first time I saw a woman doing tattoos, and that kind of really
Inspired
inspired
you.
me. So it wasn't really anything my dad was doing because I'm just like if your dad's a car salesman, you're not like, wow, I want
Right.
to sell some
Like-
cars. It's just like that's what my dad does for
Nah, I
work.
feel that.
Yeah.
Just like my dad was a welder and a mechanic, and he tried to teach me the trade and everything, and he really wanted me to go that route. But the
Right.
only thing I took from my father, regards to anything of that, was, you have like a little bit of technical drawing and
Right.
welding and shit like that. So that's the only thing I took,
Yeah.
the artistic part of it. So I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
So, how did he or your mother take you having interest in becoming a tattoo artist? What was their output on that?
Well, actually, it was actually my mom's idea for me to do tattoos. She just came up to my dad one day and was like, "You need to teach your daughter how to do tattoos because I don't see her keeping a job." And that's pretty much what happened. And he was like, "All right, I guess tell her to come here after school every day, bring a friend, make sure they sign a waiver." And I was just like straight out of high school, like just
Yeah.
bringing people from my school. and tattooing on them, and that's how I
Man.
learned.
So your mom saw from early that a job wasn't really your thing.
Yeah,
Why did she see that? Like,
because I don't like to
you be
listen.
quitting jobs?
No, I used to get fired I got fired from every job I've ever had. Like, dead ass. I probably had like, don't take this the wrong way, but
Ah.
people used to be like, you work like a Jamaican girl because I stayed with a job. Like, I would have 4 or 5 jobs at a time, and then I would just get fired
Damn.
all the time. So my mom's like, look, we
What
gonna have
was
to-
it? Your attitude? Your
it's
work
not my
ethic? What was it?
attitude. People love me. It's just I gotta come to work on time.
Hmm.
Like, y'all should be happy I'm here. Like,
Oh.
that's crazy. Like, I guess it was just coming to work on time, and that was like the main thing.
No, I definitely relate to the coming to work on time. Like, I remember working at Wendy's and having to get up at a certain time in the morning. It was just like, man, do I need this job? Like,
Right.
I be sitting on the bedside till I'm late, and I woke up early, and I sit on the bedside, and I'm wondering, like, do I need this job?
Yeah.
Just the fact of just having to get up at a specific time
Yeah.
to go work is just like, man, this is not for me.
Agreed.
'Cause
But
I'm
with
not used to
tattooing, we are on time, guys. We're on time for your appointments.
Man,
I'm on time.
I still seem to have the curse of waking up early and everything, but still ending up being a few minutes late. Yeah.
Right.
So whatever. But yeah, working at 9 to 5. What was your first 9 to 5 like?
My first, I guess, real job was McDonald's when I was, I think when I was about 15 years old. Yeah. I mean, I hated that, but
How long you worked there?
probably almost a year, maybe. I
That's
didn't get
long.
fired from
That's
there,
long.
though. I didn't get fired from there. I actually quit there.
That's long.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how did like working that 9 to 5 though shape your perspective and your work ethic and way of doing business as a business owner right now?
Hmm.
Did you
That's a
learn
good
anything
question.
like any experience?
At McDonald's, probably not. I guess working like the 50 other jobs I had was because I worked a lot of customer service jobs, and I realized I do actually like working with people and helping people. So I guess it helped shape, I guess, my customer service skills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And before
Yeah.
even working the job, going to school and stuff like that, what was you aspiring to be? Because you know everybody, as a kid, you either want to be a firefighter or a police officer, a doctor. What was
That's
your
the crazy
aspiration?
thing. I don't even know. I just know. I just remember as a kid, like I knew I always wanted to be an artist, but it was like all of the options I was given, I didn't like. They're like, oh well, maybe you can draw like in the courthouse. I knew I didn't want to do
The
that.
suspects.
Yeah, draw the suspects. I don't even know what that job is called. They're like, you could do that, or you could be an art teacher. I didn't want to do that. Or like was it a museum curator? Like, I didn't want to do any of the options that they had for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really I didn't aspire to be any of those things. I just knew I wanted to be an artist on my own terms.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, were you in some way, because you said your father taught you the tattoo somewhat, but were you in some way like self-taught, or did you get any mentorship other than your father?
So
Apprenticeship?
I did have an apprenticeship. I'm sorry. Turn my phone off. Yeah, so my father, he did offer me an apprenticeship. Basically bring people from your school, tattoo them, and he was like, you can't charge people because you're learning.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like that. So I would go in, do tattoos, and like meet them outside, like, give me my money.
Mm-hmm.
I was charging $20 for everything. He found out, got pissed off. So I was like, man, fuck this.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I kind of went to like teach myself, and I just started learning from like any kind of like street artists I could meet, because people knew my dad. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess I had like a little bit of credentials off of that. So people were willing to like help me because of my dad's name. So that was basically my whole career, was just learning on my own, and then other artists from the city just coming together
Okay.
and helping me. Yeah.
So, I have a question that's, I think it's rather controversial, but
Okay.
I've seen where like shop artists, licensed shop artists, they look down on people that's like self-taught
Okay.
and people who learn from YouTube or practicing on a fake skin or even guinea pig like people. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like they look down on people like that that haven't gone through like a apprenticeship.
Right.
Do you think, do you support the notion that it's like you're a scratcher if you're self-taught, or because you know what scratcher means,
Yeah, I
right?
do.
Yeah, like you're a scratcher because you're self-taught.
No, so I have a controversial answer, I guess. Um, I don't look down on that, especially because when I started tattooing, I think I started tattooing in like 2009.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a lot of people that looked like us as big name artists
Mm-hmm.
or offering apprenticeships. So get it how you can motherfucking get it,
Right.
because people weren't busting down the doors to help us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if that's the route it took for you to get to where you are, then so be it. Like, what you just supposed to sit around and just wait for something to happen? No, like
Yeah,
you got to do what
facts.
you got to
'Cause
do. Yeah.
I've seen it too much on social media where it be like artists who, yeah, you work in a shop and everything. I see them in like comment sections, even recently, like trolling another artist because they say they're self-taught and
So
whatever. And then when you check out their work, it's
that
like,
shit
yeah,
look
you
better
work in a
than
shop and you license, but
yeah.
your work is shit. Like
Exactly. So
some of the best artists that I've seen has been self-taught artists,
right,
and some of the worst works I've
and
seen came out of the shop
it's
because I
motherfuckers
get too
with
much of them coming for cover-ups out of the
yeah,
motherfucking shops.
it's motherfuckers with degrees on upon degrees, and they work at McDonald's
Right.
and Target.
So your certification don't
It
really
that
say
means nothing as long as you putting in the work and you trying to better yourself and you find the opportunity to better yourself. Doesn't matter how you started.
that's facts. That's
Yeah.
facts. Okay, so walk me through the very first tattoo you did. What was that experience like? How did that tattoo turn out?
I think I actually have a picture of it, but
We want to see it.
the first tattoo I ever did was on my friend Jaleesa.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we were in high school. We probably were in like 11th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, hey, my dad's going to teach me how to do tattoos. You want to get a tattoo? And she's like, sure. And she got like flowers or something.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, okay, so this is how my first ever, my dad's like, okay, I'm going to teach you how to tattoo. Cool. Come to the shop, bring a friend. Cool. I came to the shop, bring a friend.
Mm-hmm.
He hands me some stencil paper. He's like, he handed me a stencil paper. He handed me a book of designs. She picked what she want. And he's like, all right, is this what she want? Printed it out. Here's the stencil paper. Stencil it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, did that. He walks me to the room. He sets up for me. He's like, here's a 7-round liner. Okay, I'll be back. And he just left the room. He just left me in the room with her. And I just did the tattoo. And
How did it turn
it
out?
came out. It turned out very bad. It turned out.
I mean,
It
as
turned out-
expected. Like,
That was my whole apprenticeship with my dad. Was just like, pick a tattoo, stencil it. Here's a 7-round. I did everything with a 7-round liner, and he just would leave the room. He literally would just put me in a room with a 7-round liner and just leave, and then
Damn.
come back when it was done, and just was like, okay, so how did that turn? I'm like, it's fucking bad because
So I was gonna ask if that tattoo, that first tattoo, did it humble you or did it build on your confidence that yeah, I'm gonna do this shit?
I don't want to say it humbled me. Okay, so I'm one of those type of people that have like, I guess in the beginning have had like this false sense of like, I'm the shit.
Yeah,
And I was one of those type of people that just thought I could just, I don't know.
I could do this.
Yeah,
shit.
like in my
And
mind.
that's literally how I felt.
Yeah, I was delusional as fuck.
And I was humbled when I did my very first tattoo.
Oh, see, I wasn't. I was like, oh yeah, this shit's fire. Like in my mind, that shit was fucking fire.
It wasn't fire to me because I knew I could draw.
Right.
And how I could draw on paper, this is not what the shit's looking like.
I found the
So,
tattoo,
yeah.
guys.
Let me see it.
It's very bad. Can you see that? It's very bad.
Huh? We could probably put it in. You could airdrop it and we
Yeah,
put it
it's
in.
it's very bad. But in my mind, I'm like, oh, this shit's great. It's flowers. I did color. You see those swirls? Yeah, I did that. Like in my mind, this is the best tattoo like in the world.
Yeah, it happens. And to me, it's just like, as an artist, like if you're naturally artistically driven, like you could draw, you could already paint to a certain extent, you would think it's gonna be the same on skin.
Right.
But a skin is a whole different
It's
background, and I
completely
had to
different.
learn that.
Right.
And that's where I was humbled. It's not like humbled like, oh, I'm gonna give up, but it's humbled like, you not ready for this shit, nigga.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And I had to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I think I got humbled when I actually started working in a like really working in a shop for the first time. Um, well, the first shop I ever worked at, that was like this crackhead guy. He's just like, hey, you know how to
The
do tattoo?
crackhead.
Yeah, it was just. Yo, I have an interesting tattoo journey. After my dad stopped apprenticing me, this girl who was in my high school, her stepdad owned a tattoo shop around the corner from my house, and she's just like, "Hey, let me introduce you to my stepdad." I came. He's like, "So yeah," she says, "You know how to do tattoos?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can do a little something, something." So he's like, "All right, bet. I want you to tattoo my wife, and if she likes it, you're gonna get the job." So I'm like, "Cool." Go in the book. She picked out a peacock. I tattooed his wife. Ugliest fucking peacock in the fucking world.
She said
She's
it was
also
dope.
a crackhead. And
That's what I was going
she was also a crackhead. And she's like, I love it. And he's like, great, you got the job. If anybody asks, just tell them you're my niece. Because I was like 15 at the time. Yeah, very bad.
That's crazy.
So working at that shop didn't humble me because, they blew smoke up my ass. But when I actually worked at a legit shop.
Where there was actually workers.
Yeah,
like,
workers and stuff. One of the artists there, who's actually one of my really good friends now, when I first started working there, he would stand over me and be like, okay, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm doing this fire ass tattoo. He's like, okay. That's kind of when I realized, like, you might not be the shit.
It ain't there.
Yeah, it ain't there.
You need to pick the pace up. Yeah. What are some things though that you wish you knew before going into tattooing?
Before going, I don't know, because I don't really think like that. I think in like the here and now. I don't really think like.
So you haven't like had like any hiccups when it comes to just the business aspects, like taxes
yes.
that you're just like, damn, I wish I had known this.
Yes. Now,
before.
yeah, all of that, all of the actual business stuff. Like I wish I would have known. I still wish I knew some of that stuff.
Right now?
Yeah, right now. I'm kind of learning.
Yeah, it's kicking my ass too. Like taxes, I was actually on taxes like real good for the last 2 years or 3 years until last year, like just this year. I mean, it's like I hit over the tax bracket that I was actually prepared for. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like 15 point something for federal. And I had a bank account where I have the taxes taken out of every single transaction goes to that sub account. And at the end of the year, I would have every single dollar I own for tax in that account.
Right.
But I hit over the tax bracket and they upped my tax bracket to 24% something. So now it's like I owe so many taxes that I never knew I would owe because I was just prepared for the 15 point something percent.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I wish I knew a lot more about taxes. Even to right now, I'm still learning.
Right.
And it's a continuous learning ball ground when it comes to just business on a whole. So I definitely get that. Going into the type of tattoos that you do, I seen your tattoos. To me, they look more like painting style,
That's
and
what I'm going for.
what would you describe the style as?
I don't even know if it's like a name, but it is. I am inspired by paintings. Floral. not really. It's not really neo traditional because I don't like using too many lines. I guess it is. Oh, art was it Art Nouveau?
Mm,
Yes, that's what I'm inspired by. Like
okay.
old school, like flowy,
I
flowery.
like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't know if I could define what I do right now, but your work is definitely distinctive. You could see it and you know, okay, this is Unique's work. You
Thank
get
you.
what I'm saying? So definitely the color work is impressive. The execution of the style for it to look like an actual painting and everything like that.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's dope. So yeah, I was gonna ask like what inspires your work. You say like paintings and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but how do you stay creative? Because you know, like as artists, like we go through so many different tattoos per daily and different clients, and by the time you reach a certain time of the year, you're already like weary and you know of the repetition. Or so, how do you stay creative?
I mean, I stay creative. I feel like you don't really run out of creativity when you're working with your clients
Mm-hmm.
because they always have different ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So one
You
client,
you you have the clients that have different ideas. I
yeah.
don't.
Oh,
Most of my clients they have like the repetitious designs. Like they have
you
like the
gotta tell people what
specific
they want sometimes.
DMV,
Yeah.
the DMV type of tattoos where it's
Yeah.
either like clouds and yeah,
Yeah.
it gets repetitious with me.
See, I think with my style, I don't know. With my style, I kind of just create. A lot of my clients give me creative
Freedom of.
control.
Hmm.
They might mention a few things like, "Oh, I like this type of flower," or "This is representative of a loved one." But I like to take,
So they give you the idea and you bring the concept to
yeah,
life.
basically. So I get inspired off of,
Off
I
of.
guess, what they want.
Hmm.
And a lot of times, again, my clients just sometimes they just go through my drawings and they just, oh, I want this.
Okay.
It doesn't even need an explanation. Yeah.
That's dope. I do get like creative concepts sometimes, but most of the times it's like repetitious stuff, and I get like
Right.
real burnout just doing the same shit.
You
Cause
gotta
me,
just
after
create.
like three times doing the same thing, I'm just annoyed by it, seeing the
Yeah.
same design. So it's
See,
like,
yeah. I
yeah,
never
that's
do the
cool
same
that
tattoo
you have
twice.
those type of clients. Um, a typical day for you. I know you a mom, plus you're a tattoo artist, and I don't know what else you're involved in, but what's a
Everything.
typical day looking like for you?
What's a typical day? Wake up, grab a brush, put a little makeup. It's like, no, I'm joking. I wake up, get my son ready for daycare. I have a 2 year old, Santana. I love him. He's so cute. But wake up,
It's
get
a
my son
blessing.
ready. Hmm?
I say it's a blessing.
Yes, 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 he
Hmm.
is. Yeah, wake up. I get him ready for daycare. And I'm usually in the shop by 10 a.m. Work with a client, and then I'm out by like 4 because then I have to go pick my son back up from daycare, and then we go home.
Okay.
Yep.
So what is it? Is it that tattooing is solely what you do, or are you in other business ventures,
Um,
or
it's solely what I do. I do
okay?
like little side things here and there, but they're more like hobbies.
Hmm.
This is my main source of income. Yep.
Okay. Okay. All right. How do you manage like working, like balancing tattooing plus family and then relationships at that?
Of relationships.
If there's one.
No. It's all about scheduling, really. Like sticking to like a strict schedule. Like my son is on a strict schedule. I don't really stray from my schedule.
All right.
Work, I come to work. I work Wednesdays through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4. I do consultations with my clients Mondays and Tuesdays, 11 to 2. My son's in daycare, 8:30 to 5. Like my whole life is like scheduled.
On schedule.
Eat at a certain time. I go to the gym at a certain time. I come to work at a certain time. Like everything. That's how I keep my balance. I can't just live off of like go with the flow because then I feel like nothing's gonna get done.
So do you be having like demanding clients that even though you have a set
No,
schedule, they
that I
be
don't play
feeling
that.
like
I don't play that.
You don't
at
have
all.
them, or you just don't play it.
I don't know because I don't play it. Like when I do consultations with my clients, I'm like, hey guys, we're gonna talk about this tattoo for 10 minutes. Like everything is on a timer. Like we have 10 minutes to talk about this. Then I send you an email. You can book. I offer self booking. You book from here, and I tell my clients in the consultation, I'll have your design ready for you the day of your appointment. If you need to make changes, we can do it together in person. Just because it helps me like mentally stay focused and on track. Because when I'm not at work, I don't want to work.
Right.
Like I only want to talk about tattoos Monday and Tuesday,
Right.
11 to 2, or when I'm in the shop Wednesday through Saturday,
Right.
whatever time to whatever time. Like that's how I keep my sanity.
So, like you mentioned, like you only want to speak about tattoos while at work. You know, like being pretty well known around Baltimore
Yes,
and
people
in
come up
around
to me all the
Maryland.
time.
It's like you out at just a regular event, a family event, or just a get together, and people coming up to you saying,
Yes.
"Yo, how much for this tattoo?" Like, I guess it's annoying, right?
I mean, it is annoying, but I'm not going to be like agitated because sometimes people don't know that you don't want to talk about those things. Like I just tell people, "Oh yeah, that's nice. Let's book a consultation. Here's my booking link." Yeah, some people just don't. They don't know. I was at a
I be
restaurant.
voicing the concern all the time. Like I make it known on my story when I'm outside, man. I'm outside. I don't want y'all to be coming up to me about no tattoos.
Yeah.
Cause when I'm off work, man, I just want to be off work.
I get
Cause
that.
work is a load by itself.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't want to. I don't want people to ever think that they can't approach me because I am friendly. But it's about I just set boundaries, and I'm not mean about it either. I'm just really polite. Like, oh hey, yeah, that's nice. But yeah, here's my link. Let's talk about it. Let's do a virtual consultation. I'll video call you. Like I'll do it really polite because I don't want people to think like, oh,
Yeah.
she's fucking mean.
Yeah, it be like that with me. It's not like a mean way, but it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, you could come up to me and we chop it up and everything. Cause yeah, you know me and you see me on social media and everything, but just don't talk tattoos, man.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, this one time I was in a restaurant with my grandma and this girl, I guess I tattooed her a while ago. She literally walked up to me and like she was like, "Hey, you did my tattoo." And she unbuttons her shirt. It was like in between her breasts and she's like, "You did this." Like
Yeah.
right over top of my grandma. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, maybe this isn't the time and the
Yeah.
place to do that.
Nah, I feel that. So it's at the section of the interview now where we call this part like thread lightly. So it's more like questions that you just gotta answer it like in a way where you see fit,
Okay.
because it's like more controversial questions. You get what I'm saying? So you ready?
Sure.
Do you think tattoo artists are supposed to maintain a professional relationship between clients outside of work?
Professional meaning like you don't hook up with your
Yeah.
clients? Me personally, yes, I believe that. Like, I don't know. I think it gets weird because it's like once you start that, it's like they're like, so do I have to pay you now? Like,
Yeah, and that's the worst part.
yeah,
I feel like that's the worst part. And then even at that, like, let's say you do hook up with a client or whatever, it's like the interaction after that, even if they're respectful of your price and everything, it's just not the same no more.
Yeah,
And I want to keep it professional. So
Exactly.
it's like, no.
yeah,
So you say you're a no for that.
yeah. I don't do that.
So what about like co-workers in the
Coworkers, that's different.
You say that's different?
Look, that's different. Look,
So
you shouldn't shit where you eat, but like, look, sometimes tattoo niggas be fine. Like,
shit happens.
look, shit happens. Like, you shouldn't,
But when you do get into situations like that, don't it get awkward too if the
Yes.
situation goes sour?
I've had situations. Well, I've had a situation where it was weird,
And it
and
got-
I'm just like, I think I'm not going to work here anymore.
Yeah.
So maybe you shouldn't do that. But
yeah,
like,
it's a thing where, as you say, like within the industry, like it's people that's fine, and if you're single and out here, it's just
Right.
like, yeah,
But you should, if it's in the industry, that's, I don't know. I don't know how to describe that, but maybe you shouldn't do that either. But if it's specifically where you work, then you probably definitely 100%
should
shouldn't do
avoid
it. But
that.
if you like at a convention or something and you see somebody,
Yeah,
I can
they
see,
in another state.
yeah,
Or
I can see that also being messy. But shit happens, you know. You're gonna be attracted to the people that you're around, you know.
right. Okay, next question is, being a woman is, as a tattoo artist, it comes with a lot of advantages and disadvantages. So I want you to tell me one advantage for you as a woman and one disadvantage you feel like you have within the industry.
I guess an advantage of being a woman is people do tend to feel a little bit more comfortable around women because they know ain't no creepy shit going on. Um,
You think so?
that's what I feel like. I I feel like male tattoo artists can sometimes get like they can come off creepy
I feel that. I feel that.
because I've seen on Instagram girls getting wrist tattoos but they don't have no pants on. Like, why y'all doing that? I would never
That is
like
crazy now.
I
Come on
would-
now.
But it's true though.
A wrist tattoo.
Like, why is this girl in a thong and she's getting her wrist
Like,
tattoo?
yeah, you getting so you're not gonna take your clothes off?
Yeah, no, like female tattoo artists don't do that. So I guess that's an advantage.
That is crazy. You just stretched that, did you?
No,
That's crazy.
dead ass been on male tattoo artists Instagram pages and a girl is getting her fucking collarbone tattooed and she has a thong on. Like,
That's crazy.
why is that?
That's
So
crazy.
I guess that's an advantage for clients because they like, look, you're not about to come up in here
doing certain
shaking
things.
ass. Like, I don't require that.
But I would object to that because what about the female tattoo artists that are like lesbian or bisexual or
I don't think they're coming off as. I don't get those vibes. Like, even women that are lesbian or whatever, I don't get those vibes of them coming
I
off
beg
as.
to differ
I've
because
never
I've
been
been
around
on
it.
social media and I've seen skits because content, just
Right.
content on TikTok and Reels. I've seen content where females artists make that content and they have that like flirty caption about their client having a fat ass or they boobs this or you get what I'm saying, and a female client could make those, not client but a tattoo artist could make those TikToks and don't get no flame for it, but let me make a TikTok
you're-
like that saying, oh,
man.
my female client has a fat ass.
I mean, yeah, but you're also a man, and men do unspeakable things
But
sometimes.
no. So what are you saying? A female making like content like that
It's a
doesn't it suggest that she's like low key, like looking at her client as
No, I'm not saying it's a difference between making content and a man. Listen. Making content and men making actual advances on someone, because it's been a lot of instances where women have been like, "Oh, I was at this appointment and he did this." Not
I've
he made
heard
a
the stories.
not he made a hypothetical video saying such as like, no, it's something he actually did. So I feel like with women, you don't have to like even remove the concept of tattoo artists. Like, women, I don't feel like women come off on a creepy vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you
I
go
feel
outside
like the flirting and the hitting on the clients and everything happens from a woman artist perspective too. But I feel like women are just more safer with women.
yeah,
in
that's
feeling.
what I'm. Yes,
You get what I'm
that's
saying?
what I'm saying. Like, being a woman, you already coming off as a safer space than
Yeah.
being around. Not saying that all men are creepy or men are creepy in
Right.
general, but statistics.
I feel
Yeah,
that
that's
because I've heard so many crazy stories
Yeah.
as a tattoo artist. I had one client one time say she was getting like a ass cheek tattoo, and it was on her ass cheek, nowhere between her cracks or whatever. And the nigga was doing the tattoo and she just felt a finger
But
slip.
you said a nigga and not a lesbian or a female, right?
Right, right.
Exactly.
So I'm just telling you a
Yeah.
story that one client told me
Yeah, I'm
because niggas
agreeing.
be doing weird shit.
Yeah.
She say she just felt a hand slip in her,
Yeah.
and
It's
I'm just
called- that's called
and he
assault.
said it was a mistake. It just slipped, and I'm like, man, that is crazy.
Okay.
That is crazy. But even being a male tattoo artist, like I've had, just like I was explaining to you, having a lot of women as clientele, people would think it's me doing that.
Oh no, I agree with that. Working around a lot of male artists, clients be harassing, like
Right.
physically harassing male tattoo artists.
Right.
I don't deal with that
And
as a
throwing
woman.
themselves
Yeah, like
at the
I
artist.
literally will see girls getting their wrist tattoos and grabbing a male tattoo artist dick or something, or like sending DMs like, "Oh, if I do this, how much my tattoo
Right.
gonna be free?"
Yeah.
So yeah, that, I don't. That's not a problem of mine, but it is something that I see coming from. Like I've most of the shops I worked in, I was the only woman or like one of two women that worked there, and I see a lot of the male artists being like harassed by their female clients.
Yeah, so off of that now, in the industry, you know, as upcoming tattoo artists, when you're just starting out, sometimes you see an artist and you feel like, damn, he's dope. I want to be like that. Like, they inspire you because you're just beginning. But who's an artist that when you was just beginning, they inspired you and you thought their work was the shit, but now that you're where you're at now, you look at their work and you're just like, that ain't shit.
I don't do stuff like that. I feel like that's a. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that because it's kind of like mean spirited. I guess. I don't know. I feel like I don't know how to answer that. Like if I was inspired by you at a time, then
It's still
yeah,
inspiration.
it's still inspiration. I would never look at somebody's work and be like, "Oh, you trash." Like I don't know. I don't.
But if the work is trash, it's trash.
Yeah, I don't.
So I've had one person who I was inspired by, still was a person that I was inspired by. And I remember going to him. He did one of my tattoos. And I remember going to him and asking him after, like, yo, can you teach me how to tattoo? Like, you know?
Yeah.
And at the time in 2012, it was 2012, and he gave me a price for a daily, for him to teach me per daily. And as a little nigga coming out of high school, like, it was no way
Yeah.
I could see that type of money per day to give him to teach me tattooing. And to me, that was like a gatekeep.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that
He knew I
happens.
couldn't touch that amount of money to come to him to teach me. And he just did that. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
And I ended up being self-taught and getting to where I'm at right now. And really, of a fact, like, it's not like talking shit or hating on him or anything, but his work is still like it looked back then.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it ain't nothing about being mean-spirited or anything. Like, it's just like, the truth is the truth. If the
Yeah.
work is shit, the work is shit.
Yeah. I didn't really have too many I don't know. I didn't really have too many experiences like that. I wouldn't say I had it like easy cuz I mean, maybe I did, but most people kind of like I don't know. Most people kind of like gravitated towards me or wanted to help me coming up. I didn't really have too many experiences where people really try to like sun me or play in my face. I'm really a people person, and I don't know, people.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you did mention the advantage that you say you had
Yeah.
within the industry. Do you think that is like one of the advantages too?
Yeah, I definitely think I had a lot of advantages. One is off of people knowing my dad. That got me very far because it was artists reaching out to help me just because of, oh, your house's daughter. Like, we fuck with him, you know? So a lot of people don't have that, and I acknowledge that. I would never say, like, oh, I got it out the mud. No, like,
I didn't Okay, I
Yeah.
didn't hear you mention the disadvantages. I might have cut you off.
Disadvantages of being a female
Yeah.
artist. I don't really know if if it's too many disadvantages. Um, I don't know. I'm one of those like la 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 type of person. Like I see good things.
Yeah.
Like that's just my mindset.
Okay. So, all right, being a female artist, you know, you have the clients that, like the male clients,
Hmm.
that they'll not necessarily be interested in a tattoo.
Of course.
They just see you as, oh, you attractive, you know.
Yeah, you
Let me
gotta pay if
just,
you want to see
yeah.
me.
So, what's like a funny situation, like a funny story or experience of something like that? Because I know you get a lot of them.
I get a lot of them, but I'm really like a no nonsense type of
Mm-hmm.
person. Like if I see you coming at me on that type of way, here's my link. Book a consultation.
Yeah.
Pay me a deposit. Like you can't talk to me unless you're talking to me about business. Like of
So haven't it been a point where they booked and came in and was just
hell
smack?
no, you can't waste my time. They still coming to they'll get the tattoo and they'll I think you so. I had a client one time. He used to get tattoos from me like every 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and he just straight up said like one time he was just like, I'm tired of paying all this money to come see you. Like when can I take you out?
Damn.
Oh no, you can book an appointment. Yeah, I don't play those games.
Okay, so you know, in your own way, I want you to explain this, like, just in your own way. How do you explain to a client? Because I experienced this. So many different tattoo artists experience it. How do you explain to a client that wants like a certain color,
Hmm.
but it's clearly not compatible with their skin? How do you like safely explain that to them without them taking it offensive or feeling like you're saying they're too dark or, you know?
I mean, I would never just be like, "Oh, you black as hell." Like I would never do nothing like that. Since most of my designs are custom,
Mm-hmm.
I tell people from the beginning, like when they do their consultation, do you want a color tattoo? Do you want a black and gray? Um, and I just let them know from the beginning, I'll design something based off of
Your skin
your
tone.
skin tone, and that usually cuts any
So you've
confusion.
never had like one of the clients that's just adamant that just they clearly sent you a link of something they want and it's on a white person or a light
I
skinned
think I had
person and
like
they want the colors like that.
I had one client like that. It was a male client. My female clients are great,
Mm-hmm.
100%. But it was a male client. He wanted a Bob Marley tattoo, and he wanted like the Jamaican colors,
Mm-hmm.
like in the face, like.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't think that would look right. Based for your skin color. Like maybe
Mm-hmm.
we could put those colors like in the background or. And he just was like, well, fuck you then. I'm just like, oh, okay. My bad.
No, so it's crazy how on social media it has become like even like a trend where a tattoo artist that even like specializes in tattooing like darker people, you know, like colored skinned people,
Right.
they'll make it seem like
Everybody can
it's
get
possible
everything.
for
Yeah.
everybody with dark skin to get every color.
Right.
And it's to a point where I'll tell a client like you can't get certain colors that you're expecting, but I could give you the colors that would work with your skin complexion. And she still take it as I'm telling her like
And then
you
that's when
can't
you
get
say,
color.
you know what?
And I'm
I
not
don't
saying
think.
you can't get color.
Yeah.
You just can't get these colors that you want because it's clearly like the reference you sent is on a white person
Right.
and it's going to be a different pop on a white person or a light person versus on you. So
Yeah.
I could give you colors that works with your skin tone.
My thing is, we can't go to our dentist and be like, use this instead of this. Like,
Right.
that's their job for a reason. They know what the hell they're doing.
Mhm.
So if you feel like you can come to my job and tell me how to do my job, go to somebody else or do it yourself. I don't come to work to be stressed out.
Mhm.
if I feel like I'm having a hard time getting through to a client, I'm just like, you know what? I don't think I'm the artist for you.
Right.
I think you should
Find
find someone
somebody
else to
else
do
that
it
works with you.
politely. And I'm
Yeah.
not going to argue with you. Just, I'm, look, we're not
Yeah.
a good fit.
I feel like it should be a thing where clients need to understand that whenever you're looking up like even like tattoo designs, you should look with intention of finding the design that's on color like yourself. Don't be looking on Pinterest or anywhere for that inspiration and you're finding a inspiration on a white person
Yeah, but
and then sending it to the tattoo artist expecting that you're going to get these results that's on the
yeah,
white person. You should look for tattoos that's within your color,
but
your skin tone.
it goes with the same thing I just said though. Like, that's not their area of expertise. Like, I'm not a mechanic, so if I'm looking at car parts, I'm not looking with the brain of a mechanic. Like, oh,
Right.
you should get a catalytic
Right.
converter. I don't fucking know car parts.
But that's why I'm telling
But
them.
yeah,
like,
but they don't
that's a
know
way
that.
to go about
so
it.
it's like, even if they do come to you with a reference on a white person, they're not thinking like in an artist's mind because they're not a tattoo artist. So I feel like it's up to us as an artist. Like, once we get those references, we're just like, oh, hey, like, I see that you picked this. But I think it's our job to tell them that because they don't have the same mindset as we do. Yeah.
Okay. We passed that now. That's the section where you threaded lightly. But anyways, this is the section where we call it vent.
Oh.
And it's basically where you get to just vent about something within the industry that you've seen and you're tired of, you have a problem with it, and you want to see a change. It could be something with a client, it could be something among co-workers or whatever in the industry. You get to vent.
Venting. My main thing is dress for the tattoo you are getting. That's like a big thing for me. If you getting a fucking calf tattoo, right? Don't come in here with like some 2 times extra small skinny jeans, and you don't have no underwear or nothing underneath, and you can't roll them bitches up. Like, you knew you was getting a calf tattoo. Why did you come in
Yeah.
here with that on? Like, that's one thing. What's another thing that bothers me? 21 questions with clients.
What's that?
All right, a client would be like, how much? How much for what?
Right.
A tattoo. What kind of tattoo? An apple. An apple where?
An
My
apple what
arm.
size?
An apple what size? An apple what color? Like,
Yeah.
playing 21 questions, like,
Just make it brief. Put
Yeah,
everything
like-
in one message. Where you want it, the size you want
yeah,
it,
like
the proper
that shit
description, what
grinds
you want to
my-
add.
Yeah, it grinds my
Yeah.
gears. Like,
Just get to it.
why we doing all this back and forth? Like,
Yeah, because to me, when I have 100 messages to reply to and I have to be back and forth with you
Yeah,
like that,
I'm over it.
annoys me.
yeah,
And sometimes I don't even end up going through with the person that does
Right.
anything like that because it's like I'm going to pay attention to the people that's actually
right.
being clear on what they want.
And I also have booking forms that has all of those questions for people to answer, but nobody ever wants to fill out the form. So if you're not going to fill out the form and you send me a DM, at least tell me what the hell you want and not have me go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What
Any
else?
more?
What else grinds my gears? I'm trying to think. Those are the main two that I could like think up off the top of my head.
Mine is like where you located. I hate where you
And it
located.
says it in the bio.
And it's literally in my bio on TikTok. It's in my bio on Instagram.
Same.
Come on, bro. Like, I can't do that.
Same.
And it's like I have even the prompt thing in the DM where you could literally hit that and it says Lana,
And they
Maryland.
won't even.
And they don't pay attention to those prompts.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? They'll see it say Lana, Maryland, and they be like, oh, send me the full address. Like, come on, man. Like, it's Lana, Maryland. If you want to book, when you book, you get the address and everything
Right.
within the booking. You know, so that's one of the main icks for me when it comes to just daily interaction with clients. Like,
Right.
just asking where you located. Another thing is, like, on TikTok, I don't know if it's like people don't have common sense, but
Yeah.
it's like a post will go viral and everybody in the like, let's say I'm promoting my numbing cream or something. Within the video, I vocally say where you could find it. You could find it in TikTok shop on the website. The website link is in my bio, and
Right.
I also put it in writing within the video. And it's everybody asking, where can I get this?
People don't like to think anymore. They want you to
'Cause it's
literally
just
like
like,
hold their hand, click the link for them,
yeah.
scroll, and then put their
And
credit card
sometimes I feel
information
like
in.
they just want to talk to you. They just
Yeah.
want you to reply to them. They feel good by she's unique replied to me and
Right.
say, this is where I get it. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's definitely one of the things.
I don't know anymore. Yes.
Okay, we could move on from Vent. How has tattooing influenced your perspective on art and your whole identity as a person?
On art. That's a good question. I don't know. I just see tattooing as a different form of art. Like
Right.
it's the same thing as a painting or a drawing. You're just doing it on skin. So I guess the opposite. The question would be opposite for me. How has art influenced tattooing?
Your
Because
tattooing.
I don't see a big separation. Like especially when I create art, I try to create tattoos that are like
Expressive.
that express art, like that is looking like a painting or like something you draw, and not designing like, let's see how I can design this like a tattoo.
I feel that. What is a tattoo that you've done lately that's spoke to you, like something that touched you?
Touch my heart.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like I know this is like cliche. All of my pieces speak to me, but like, no, the style of pieces that I do, they speak to me because I just like my style is just like black women, femininity, like beauty, like empowerment, mindfulness. So all of that speaks to me, and that's why I put it in my art, because I feel like you don't see a lot of that. Maybe now you do, but when I first started tattooing, everything was like white girl heads, like it was white girls, white girls, white girls, and I'm like, well, black girls are pretty. Like
Right.
black girls can be mermaids, and black girls can have flowers coming out of their hair, like. So that speaks to me. That's why I create the art that I create.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
dope.
Representation.
I was gonna ask like, how do you handle burnout? But I think we spoke about that earlier in the appointment. But to wrap it up, what is some advice that you would give to like an aspiring tattoo artist that wants to get into the tattoo game, don't know where to start, or has started but don't know how to move on?
Some advice I would give is network a lot. Make friends with the community that you want to be a part of. So if you aren't tattooing yet, hang out in tattoo shops if they allow it. Don't be like creepy or anything,
Right,
but
right.
like make friends with tattoo artists, hang out with tattoo artists, go to tattoo conventions, draw, get tattooed by your favorite artists,
Ask questions,
Yeah,
wow.
like if you want to do this, like you really have to manifest it and act like you already doing that shit. Like that's how you
You have to believe
believe
that
it.
this is something you could actually achieve. Even if you're not there, you have to believe
Yeah,
that,
and
yes,
make
I want
steps.
this and I could make it.
Yeah, and actually put it in your life, like, you know, with the being around it. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Finally, let the people know on social media where they could find you, how they could book an appointment, and everything.
All right, I guess this camera.
Yeah.
Okay, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok. She's unique. She's SHES _ UNEQ. It's the same on everything. Yep.
Yeah, man, and I go follow She's Unique. She bad. And she do my neck tattoo. Still dope until this day.
Yep. Yep.
So, yeah, definitely. But that's it for this episode of InkSpired to InkSpire, people. please do leave a like and a comment, and y'all subscribe to the channel. You don't know. Big up on yourself. All right.
InkSpired to InkSpire.